It is what it is, bro. That's just the way it goes. And I think we're live. There we go. Lovely. So, how's it, everyone?
Albert,
How's it, guys?
Checking,
How's it,
all,
gents?
checking all the angles with Pipes, episode number 10. As you can see, we've got another friendly face for this one. Starting to expand a little bit, getting some guests involved. Yeah,
Some
styling,
personnel.
bro. Styling. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Making my debut.
So there we go. So we've got Gareth making his debut tonight, which should be a lovely time to click in just before the Ireland SA game over the weekend.
Yeah.
Damn, that is going to be fire. So Gareth, I don't know if you want to just square how's it there.
Yeah, how's it,
To get
guys?
started.
It's good. Yeah, 100%. It's good to be here. Thank you so much for bringing me on. And I'm looking forward to chatting some rugby. And yeah, let's see where it goes. It's a big game this weekend.
100%.
It's I think it's going to be our most challenging match so far in the year. Ireland are a dangerous team. So and we're going all out. Look at the team we've selected.
Yeah.
I think we've laid down a marker with I think we're doubling down on our strengths. We're doubling down on our physicality, and we're showing Ireland we're here to counter your strengths.
Yeah.
And
with the nuclear squad.
So, exactly, it's a nuclear
nuke
squad. So it's an interesting one too. Interesting selections, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. It's gonna be
in the famous words of Peter de Villiers, it's not ballet. So I mean, we're definitely not going to see some ballet this weekend. That's for sure.
I think before
Mr.
we
John,
jump
what have you
into
got to say
that, let's do a nice round 2 recap. So I think let's look at the games. Obviously, Fiji and Oz, probably my pick of the round 2 games, if I'm completely honest. I also managed to win some money on Fiji.
Bugging up my super brew.
So not too shabby.
I don't know why I picked Oz, but well done.
Well, that makes 2 of us, and that has come back to bite me in the ass. Fun time.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely fun. No, the round 2 fixtures weren't that interesting, to be honest. I mean, that was pretty much the biggest game of the weekend. Australia going down 15-22. England belting Japan 34-12. The Springboks pummeling Romania 76-0. Ireland taking Tonga to the cleaners 59-16. Wales, I don't know, breathing fire past Portugal just 28-8. And then, what was it? Samoa beating Chile 43-10. I thought that might have been a bigger score. And then New Zealand beating Namibia 71-3. And France beating Uruguay 27-12.
A bit of a statement there from New Zealand. I think they needed to do that following all the, excuse my friends, all the shit that they've endured over the last month or so. So I think that'll do them well. I don't know if that's going to see them go too far in the tournament. I personally think they'll be knocked out in the quarters by us. But good on New Zealand. I'm sure the guys at the breakdown enjoyed that win.
I think it's difficult to read into matches like that. And I don't think it gives a clear picture of where New Zealand is. I really think they've got too many key injuries. We just knocked them down a peg in that warm-up game where we beat them 35-7. And they just got hammered by France as well. So beating Namibia 71-3, it's difficult to tell where this team is.
It's a take-home.
It's a what?
Exactly.
It's a take-home.
It's take-home.
TFC, thanks for coming.
Exactly.
Oh, geez. Look, I think the one thing that they will be glad about is having Brodie Retallick back, because I saw he was actually in the 23. I think he played off the bench. So that's one plus point for them. But they need some beef in their back line, and they need more beef in the front, the forward pack. I mean, they're just not
And
fronting up
out.
physically.
Mm.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah, he is out. Yeah, he got. That was a bit of a. I didn't like that. I'll be honest. I didn't like that red card and ban. I don't like it. But still, it is what it is. But yeah, I think, look, the only thing we can take out of round 2 is that Fiji can live up to the hype that they created before the World Cup. Australia are pretty much garbage, but they are a very, very young team. And I still think they're going to pull some wool over Wales's eyes and sneak one past them as well. I don't know.
I disagree.
I'm calling Wales, to be honest, in that game.
Yeah.
I think Wales have got a bit too much quality and experience in their side, and they're looking pretty fit. And I think Australia missing Will Skelton, Taniela Tupou, not having Quade Cooper in that team to back up Carter Gordon. I think that's a massive
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, Flash Gordon. Yeah, I think it's yeah, and then Eddie Jones is just he's just crazy. So I think his press conferences are backfiring a bit, because I mean, when your team is not performing and you're acting like a clown in press conferences, it's sort of snowballs. And I think so we'll see what happens. But I'm backing Wales, I think, in this one.
I agree. Just to round off, I think the round 2 recap. I just would like to pay a bit of respect to England. I had completely written them off this World Cup. I thought it was going to be falling apart at the seams. And after their win against Argentina, I do think it's galvanized them and it's given them a bit more of an identity. And their win against Japan was a bit more solid. But interesting fact on Japan, in the last 4-year cycle, Japan only played 26 test matches. I don't know what that compares to the rest of the international teams, but I heard that on Boks Office this afternoon. And you're never really going to reach the heights of other nations if you're not playing the level of rugby and the amount of rugby. So yeah, I think kudos to England. Let's see what they've got. I don't see them getting further than a semi, but if you know how to use it, a semi does work.
Very true.
Oh no!
Very true.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful piece of advice there, John. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. So,
I agree with your statement. It's a lot like 2007 for England in terms of that, where they looked absolutely hopeless, except this time they didn't lose 36-0 anywhere yet. So they at least have they don't have an L against their record at the moment. But yeah, they came in very, very not undercooked, but they were cooked by all the teams they played, pretty much. So
cooked,
it's good. Look, I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see it being competitive. Let's be honest. I don't want to see massive. I don't mind seeing massive scores, but I don't want it to be one-sided contest. You want to see the contest at the end of the day. So it's very important that all of those teams on that side of the draw also pull up their socks and actually give us something to actually talk about and fear, in a sense, if I can put it that way.
No, it's very lopsided.
Yeah.
Go for it, Gareth.
Who would England play in a quarterfinal?
I've got that up here, so just give me one
second. So it'll either be Wales, Australia, or Fiji.
Is that it?
I think Wales and Fiji will. Okay, but I think we'll get to that a bit later.
It'll be interesting, that side of the, like I said, the quarterfinals on that side can be pretty much anything still, to be honest.
Yeah.
After Fiji did a number on England a couple of weeks ago, I think it would be very nice to see a Fiji-England quarterfinal. And I would be interested to see how the bookies predict that game. Fiji, I don't know if you saw the game when they go to their substitutes, their lineout completely falls apart. Did you see the lineouts at the end of that game? Oh, they lost. Yeah, they just lost so many. So let's see in terms of longevity what they have. But just to jump on to our next point, the SA versus Romania. What do we have there? Obviously 72 or 76-0. No tries.
76-0.
No tries conceded. Bit of a statement win there. 2 hat-tricks. Quibus Reinach with the second hat-trick in as many starts, narrowly missing out on his own record. So stuff to appreciate and get behind. Your thoughts there, Gert?
I absolutely loved it that 3 scrum halves passed to each other to score a try. That was something that I never thought I would ever say. Went from Jaden to Faf to Williams on the angle. What a try that was. That was beautiful. I think, look, we didn't get a lot out of that match, but what we did get out of that match, I feel, is that we know the depth is there. The Oaks can play out of position if push comes to shove. They wouldn't want to because the quality of opposition wasn't very good, but still, at least they got a hit out. It was good for us to test out as well, Dion Fourie and Marco van Staden's little weird combo thing that was going on there. So, yeah, I think we got out of it what we wanted to. No injuries, no big injuries. Vincent Koch pulled out before the game, so not too sure what's going on there. But I mean, other than that, I think it was a good hit out. And yeah, we definitely turned on the style when we had to. And yeah, the big takeaway for me, to be honest, is the bagel that we gave them, not conceding any points. I think that's, I mean, I think it's the first game this World Cup where no points have been conceded by one team. So yeah, the defensive systems are there, and I think this weekend that's going to be crucial.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely. I think also, what did you guys think of Marco van Staden's throwing? I thought he seemed pretty solid, but obviously it's against Romania. It's against a lot of opposition. Yeah. He was pretty solid. Apparently, he's been practicing since the first alignment camp this year.
I heard that as well.
So I mean, there is plans.
Yeah, the last time he played a competitive match at hooker though was school. Just pop it there. I'll come and get it now. Thanks, beautiful. So I'm getting service with a smile there. But I'm gonna eat it while I watch Arsenal pop PSV Eindhoven.
I have to make my own chow, so lucky for you, bro.
Life's tough. Life is tough. I mean, there's not much else to say. Gareth, did you say you've got an update on Vincent Koch's injury there for us?
Yeah, sorry. He's 100% fine. So he's come through, and apparently he started training again today. They confirmed in the press conference, which is good.
Okay, that's very good for us.
So, I mean, we've got a clean bill of health going into this weekend. Then we've got Pollard in the mix. I saw him running some drills at fly half and things. So I think we're building up nicely towards quarterfinals. If we get there, we still have Ireland and Tonga to go. I don't want to write off any of the teams. But yeah, I think, look, in terms of round 2, I think we can pretty much move on. It was what it was. I don't think there's too many points to discuss there. Maybe one last shout out just to Uruguay for keeping France to 27, only losing by 15 points. I think that was a very gutsy performance. Unfortunately, they got pumped by Italy earlier on by 21 points. Almost got that one spot on with my Super Brew, out by 4 points. So I was hoping for Italy try at the end there, but didn't come. But yeah, so I just think, in terms of the minnows, I have to say I've been pretty much mostly impressed by by Uruguay. They one of the teams to actually show some guts and big defensive effort and things like that. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, just against Italy now, they were actually ahead 17-7 at half time, and then they just capitulated in the second half. So, yeah.
One of those things.
So
It's part and parcel of the World Cup.
100%.
So
yeah.
getting on to Pollard coming in, that's obviously an interesting one for the SA camp and how we use Pollard, obviously with Lebok pretty much nailing down his place. It's going to be very interesting to see how we use him. Personally, against Tonga, I think he'll get a full 80, well, as close to 80 minutes as possible. They'll see where he is. I think that'll give us a good indication of what we can expect from him. But I see him more being used off the bench in those clutch moments for the rest of the tournament. I don't see him starting. I think we'll look to use Lebok, completely dominate the side, try win with tries, with skill, and then if need be, he can come on for those clutch moments.
I think they're spot on. Does that mean though that we revert back to a 6-2 split and we have Pollard on the bench instead of Willie Leroux and a scrum half? Or do we? Yeah, obviously it'll depend on the opposition that we have, but I think that's an option we can look at going.
Yeah,
because I think Willie Leroux he didn't do himself any favors in that Romanian game. Although the conditions were slippery, I mean he's still an important player, still a very important player.
Yeah,
and he's not playing this weekend. But yeah, we'll see. That's just maybe something they'll consider. Possibly.
I think 6-2 could work.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of permutations that you can go for when you have a Pollard in the mix. I think it'll be very interesting to see if we really bugger around too much with the winning formula. I think after this weekend, it'll give us a clear indication of where the mindset's going. I mean, with the 7-1 split this weekend, it shows you what we want to do against the teams that we believe to be the biggest threats. We want to absolutely run them into the ground in the forwards and smash them. So I don't know. You do need, I believe, a scrum half on the bench, even though you have Cheslin in the starting lineup. I mean, if you're going for a 7-1, you're not going to perhaps choose Pollard or whatnot. You'd rather have the scrummy there, even though you would have the cover for scrummy with Cheslin, but I don't think that's something that you really want to do. So yeah, I think this weekend will be a big decider if we will do another 7-1 or not. If it works, it'll probably be used in the quarterfinal again. If not, then yeah, the 6-2 will probably come back.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if it's successful against Ireland, then it'll work against New Zealand again, and it's a great weapon that's unique to us, so that's pretty exciting.
It is. Like you say,
it's
very unique to us, and as South Africans, the way we play rugby, that physical aspect. I mean, Kat, you and I have been chatting about this for going on years now. It's innate to the South African almost DNA, and to see it really spill over into our rugby, it's tangible now with the way the Bokke play.
Look, it's as Drickus du Plessis said after his UFC bout the other day. Hulle ken ons nie, pap and vleis. One time, we built differently here. It is.
Did he say that?
It is one of our strengths and. Yeah, did you not see that? That was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. And
good on him. Dana White probably was like, Pap and vleis.
I don't know. I don't listen to Dana, to be honest. I just listened to him, had a bit of a chuckle, and then yeah. But anyway, but yeah, it's definitely a very, very interesting tactic that we use. And as you said, there isn't many other teams, to be honest, probably no other team that can do what we do in that sense. It is a massive gamble still. I still believe it's a big gamble we take every single time we do it. It's only the second time, but it's a big gamble. I mean, if you get two, I know we always say like, oh, if you get 2 injuries, it's fine in the back line because you'll have your scrummy that can come on and cover wing and things like that. But I mean, if you've got, you have Kwacha that can also play on the wing, in all honesty. But I mean, if you've got 3 injuries in the back line, and it's rugby, that sometimes will happen.
Yeah.
We could be in trouble. We could be in trouble, but
yeah, as a counter argument to that, though, if you're going into a game with a 7-1 split, there's obviously clear indication that you want to be, it's going to be a forward game. So say, for instance, you were to invert that and go into a game with like a very backline intensive bench, then you'd be looking to run it and your backs would therefore be more involved. But in a game like this where we're going 7-1, we're saying from the outset it's going to be a forward heavy game. So the likelihood of our backline actually getting the ball, getting into positions where they can get injured are then nullified. So
True.
I mean, it's that's the other side of the coin.
100% right. I mean, look at the game against New Zealand. We were going to our set piece. We were going to our
the game against New Zealand. I think I saw. Yeah, were you at Twickenham? Because I was at Twickenham for that game. So
you just had to bring that in, didn't you? Just had to rub that salt
that.
into the.
Yeah, no. jealous.
Carry on, yeah. Carry on. So you go.
Yeah. No. I was just agreeing with you there. We because we going with that 7-1 splits. We basically saying to our forwards, go all out for a half, and we'll bring on a fresh pack. And you know, it will be a forward orientated game, and so yeah, 100% right. It's going to be less of a risk on our back line and players.
It is.
All in all,
it is one of the most
sorry. I
ridiculous
lost track with that last.
That's fine.
It's one of the most ridiculous things to think about, though. Like we literally bringing on a fresh pack.
Yeah.
I mean, and in saying that, both our packs are probably number 1 and number 2 in the world. So I mean, it's an absolute joke in some ways. I can understand why some people are a little bit irritated, but it's just because they can't do it themselves. It is what it is. You got to take it on the chin. If you don't have 2 packs, you don't have 2 packs. Are you gonna get us? Some? Why are you showing us fresh pack, bro? What's going on?
Because you just said fresh pack, so I was like, oh, that's a fresh pack.
Oh no.
Okay, well done. No, fair enough.
Also,
I did
guys,
not see that coming. I'll be honest.
Also, just another point. Yeah, 100%. Like, we've actually never played Ireland in a World Cup game, eh? This is our first time playing them in a World Cup.
Interesting stat there.
I
did
not know that.
Yeah, I thought we played them in the days of Gary Owen.
Shucks. Okay, that's interesting. I literally did not know.
Where are you with your statistics? This is normally your ball game here. You come out with the stats and what's the stadium capacity? You haven't even given us that. Who's the referee?
Jeez, like, okay, wait, no, we haven't even got to that. Don't come here with your tuning me already. I'll get you some. I'll get you some stats and facts here. Let me just open my stats and facts here. And you've caught me off guard there completely. I'll be honest. Look, the team we've selected just shows what our plan is. And we say this every single time. Here's our plan. Can you beat us?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. They know what we're going to do, but can they stop it? And that's where most teams cannot.
No, they can't.
And that's the beauty of it at the end of the day. So where are we playing? We stay playing at the Stade de France, Saint-Denis. Well, let's see some stats here. What do you want? What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
How likely are we to win?
I would say 60% probably.
Well, I'll take those odds.
100%. It's 50-50. It's a tough one.
Okay. Look, I saw a thing the other day with the probability of each team going to the quarters, semis, and then the final, and then being eventual champions, where we are now the favorites at the moment, with I think 36% chance of winning it, according to that stats site or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But I don't want to look forward that much. I'll be honest. I don't want to be counting my chickens before they hatch, or I don't know if that is what you say, but yeah. I'd rather just focus on getting the job done this weekend and then against Tonga. So yeah, I saw you quickly bring up the team there. You guys want to run through it quickly?
Yeah, so I'll quickly run through it. I just brought it up because I thought you were going to rattle off some stats there.
I was, but then my stats didn't want to come up on the phone here, so I don't know. I need to up my game here. It looks like, to be honest.
Yeah, just on that note, there, do you think? And kudos to Bongi, but I think he's got a very important position and a very important role for us for the rest of this campaign, because we're such a forward dominant team. It seems strange that we're going to be wrapping our hooker in cotton wool, but I do believe that the gulf between him and Dion and Marco is quite big. So I don't want to lose Bongi. I don't think he's going to. I think Dion Fourie is going to start against Tonga, though. I don't think Bongi's going to start. I think Bongi will be rested for that game. But there's our 23, the 15 and the 7-1 split. And in terms of experience, I do believe we've gone with the two best nines we've got. In all honesty, we've got some great nines in the squad, but if someone had to put a gun to my head, those are my two best nines.
Yeah, I think experience-wise, World Cup-wise, 100% correct. Cobus Reinach is a World Cup champion. He can cover the wing as well. He can do the same as Grant Williams. I think Williams has a slight edge on the pace department, but very slightly. I mean, Cobus Reinach is electric as well.
Not the size. Cobus has got guns.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, look, it's a straight shootout for me between those two who's on the bench. But yeah, I mean, if we just look at the team, it's pretty much as strong as it gets. There is one exclusion that we'll come to. But yeah, we've got the Ginger Ninja, Stephen Kitsoff at loosehead, then Bongs at hooker, Frans, Buffel, Malherbe at tight head, Ibn and Sous in the locking department, Sia and Peter Steff on the flanks. And then Jasper at 8th man. That was the one area where there was a lot of discussion going on. I saw a lot of Oaks backing Dwayne to be in the starting lineup. I think with him playing that 80 against Romania, I think he might be a little bit sore, something like that. I don't know. But I 100% understand. I 100% understand why they're going for Jasper, though. I mean, we saw in that Scotland game the ferocity and the aggression and the front foot ball he gives us. In the minutes that he plays, directly leading to the try scored by, was it? It was the cross kick try. Yeah. So I mean, he got the counter up going.
Look, sorry. No look cross kick. Don't forget.
Sorry, the no look there. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, fair enough. So that was the one area where there was a bit of contention between him and Dwayne. And with Dwayne not being on the bench, some eyebrows were raised, but I 100% understand why they have done what they have done. Yeah, but I mean, then we've got the backline is old Fafster, Marnie, Cheza at wing, and Kirtley at the other wing. Damien and Jesse in the centers, which I think was to be expected, especially with the magnitude of the game. Put your experience in there. You know what you're going to get. That's what we need in this game. And then I like that they've put Damien on fullback. I mentioned this last week, I think, where I said that he's very good in the air for me. I think he has overtaken Villy in the air. And I think his defensive game is also better. It definitely has more gas.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, he just doesn't have the he doesn't have the vision yet that Villy has. But I mean, he also has the crispy pass. So I'm very happy with that. I'll be honest.
100%. I also think Willemse has got a place in that starting lineup because of his partnership with Manie Lebok. I think those two work hand in hand. And I think if you were playing a Pollard at 10, you'd have a Villy there at fullback as your playmaking option. So I think having Manie there, it opens up and gives us that freedom to have Willemse there. Also just to note there, I think they've gone with the more athletic a team by bringing him Damien Willemse at 15 and also Jasper Wiese at 8 as opposed to Dwayne. I think it's a younger, fitter options. So it's
I like
Are you
that.
putting
I
on your
think that's-
Nina cap there when you say that?
100%. I thought that is funny.
And then Gareth, I'll ask you to run us through the replacements there and get your thoughts on that.
Perfect. So then, sorry, I'm just zooming in there. So then, you got Dion Ferry at 16, going for all-out work rate. Oxenchair, been in brilliant form. He's made a huge impact coming from the bench. He's a key player. Same as Trevor Nyakane. It's good to see him back in his best form.
Yeah.
So I think those three, all three shorties over there, with the lowest center of gravity, I think they make a big difference and they'll be key in this game and dominating scrums coming on in the second half. Making that big impact. Exactly that, and they bring a lot of it. And then I love that they're bringing the two locks on, Jean Klein and Archie Sneeman, Munster duo. I think they are class, and they work well together. I think it's great that you can bring them off the bench in the second half, and then 21 Marco Kwacha. I think so we're bringing on the shorter, high work rate loose forwards, as opposed to going for very explosive, good in the breakdown. So it's saying in the second half we're going to target their breakdowns and we're going to slow their ball down. And I think that's going to be key in the second half, in that last 20, especially when Ireland usually break away. So I like that thinking. And then obviously you've got Quibus at 23 who covers 9 and 14. And in case there's an injury, he's able to cover quite a few positions there, and he's got pace. So I like that 7-1 split is looking good.
It's looking as balanced as the 7-1 split could look. In all honesty, there. We forget actually in terms of cover for 10, and it hasn't even been mentioned within the Boks team at the moment. But Cheslin Colby's very adept at moving into the 10. I think he's played 10 for his club side a few times. So there's plenty of talent there. And I'm
got
feeling very
that
confident.
can shift to 10. You've got Faf that can shift to 10. We've got a lot of, like I said, that's what I was trying to allude to, that we've got so many bases covered with guys that can play out of position. You don't want them to, but if push comes to shove, they will be able to. So, I mean, with that team, you can see that It's been well thought of, and
Yeah.
they are covering all of their bases. I also think why Dwayne misses out is they want Marco van Staden there for backup to Dion if the scrums goes a bit backwards, because he is a heavier unit than Dion Fourie is. So I think he will give us a bit more oomph in the scrum should we decide to actually shift him to the hooker position for the
Yeah.
scrums.
Yeah,
Mm,
agreed.
agreed.
Yeah,
He's got
so
a thick neck.
he's thick with two C's.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I had a good chuckle when I saw that in the media.
Yeah.
That was so good. Oh,
That
gee,
was
that was so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
No,
look,
shit.
it's looking well poised for this weekend. And yeah, there's not much else to say regarding the SA Island game. Do you know who the ref is, Kat? I know you were looking it up.
Oh, jeez.
Can
I'm
I
so
quickly,
off my game here.
while you look it up, I'm going to ask our guest Gareth. Gareth, in that
100%.
Scotland Ireland game, what are your thoughts on Angus Gardner as a referee in terms of the context of world rugby at the moment? I believe that was one of the best, if not the best, refereeing displays in a season, 2 seasons. It was so balanced. He let rugby be rugby and physicality take place, actually, which is a nice change.
Sorry, which game did you say? My apologies.
SA versus Scotland, Angus
Oh
Gardner.
yeah. 100%. No, I thought he controlled that game nicely. Let it flow. I think he used common sense throughout that game. Yeah, I didn't have any complaints about Angus. And when you don't talk about the referee, then you know you had a good game. So
Exactly.
yeah, so I think exactly that. I didn't have there weren't there was one oh no, sorry, that was against Romania. I was thinking John Klein, but yeah, so different game. But no, there were no issues in that game with the refereeing. It was well managed, and he communicated properly with the players. Respected both captains. So yeah, no, he did a good job.
Yeah, great. Just quickly for those 10 to 15 viewers that have stayed on to this point in the show, apologies for last week's episode. There was some copyright issues there from Mark Zuckerberg and the rest of the people at YouTube. They didn't like what we were doing, so we had to cut and paste our show.
Is that why you're not showing any videos today, John? Is that why
we're showing
not
nothing?
seeing the good stuff?
We want to attract sponsors.
Oh shucks. Look, okay. Sure. This is gonna be interesting. Oh, why did I do that? Sorry, I clicked the wrong button again. I am all over the show here. So I see nowadays you have jeez, oh man. Why are you doing
you need
this
a
to me,
performance
phone?
enhancer there.
I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, okay, let me just do this. So, do you know how many TMOs there are now? There's one main TMO, but in total there is 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a panel. They're based at Roland Garros, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, there's a panel that are based in a headquarters at Roland Garros, and all decisions go through to them and then come back to the field. That's why there's been a slight delay on TMO decisions and communications.
Okay.
In the odd game.
So, look, I'm trying to get I know who the referee will be. The referee is Ben O'Keefe.
Okay. Ben O'Keefe.
It's
I think I'm just going to bring up a picture.
I think Ben is good. He's a good referee.
He's the black-headed Aussie. Yeah, this is him. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, look, he can go one or two ways. He can either blow the game dead or he'll let a few things go.
He's not Papes, but he'll do.
I'm really struggling to find the match officials for this game. I don't know what's going on. This is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Ben O'Keefe will do for now. next week we'll give you the weekend. We'll give you the week off, and then next week you'll be performance enhanced, and then give the people what they want.
Look, it is what it is. Sometimes I do miss the trick. I do apologize for that. Look, I don't know who the ARs will be, but they don't really matter, let's be honest. They must just pick up the flags and make good calls. But yeah, Ben O'Keefe, I like Ben O'Keefe. I just want him to be the one thing I can say about Ben O'Keefe is he's normally very consistent both ways.
Yeah, agreed.
He'll ping both teams for the same infringements and things like that. There isn't really much gray area in terms of that, which I think is good, and it's what we want. I want an absolute slugfest this weekend. I want it to be a smash and crash and bash.
Yeah.
One for the purist. I love those games. Absolutely adore those games.
Yeah.
But you also want to see some flair and some X factor, which we have in spades.
Yep, we do.
So yeah, there's apparently there's supposed to be a bit of rain in the air this weekend, which I think will lend itself to a game that is appreciated by the purists, like you say, Kat. So it's going to be good. Yeah, in terms of what else there is to discuss, from my side, I think we can. I don't have anything else that I want to discuss, unless Gareth wants to bring up any points.
Yeah, I was thinking, if you were Ireland, how would you approach this game? With the team we've chosen, how would you like to counter our strengths? For me, I was going to say kick and then create unstructured play, for which they'll try and use to get on the outside of our rush defense, which I believe our rush defense is the best defense in the world.
Yeah, agreed.
And on structured attack, we'd shut them down. But I think they're going to try kick contestables and try win the aerial contest and try and attack from there and try get on the outside of us. Maybe put in some cross kicks. I think we got to watch Sexton. He's going to be key. Sexton and either Murray or Gibson Park. Yeah,
agreed.
I don't want to call it early, but Sexton is going to get smashed this weekend. He's going to get the ball away more than once or twice, but there's going to be once or twice where it's not going to happen, and our flankers are going to eat him for breakfast. And with him being as brittle, I would say, as he is, perfect tactic. It's exactly what we did to Finn Russell. Finn Russell was absolutely tackled out of that game against Scotland. We're going to do exactly the same thing to Johnny Sexton, but in saying that, Ireland's ruck speed is a lot quicker than Scotland's.
Yeah.
So we won't have as much time to set the defense as we want to. But I think that's, as Gareth mentioned earlier, in those last 20 minutes or 30 minutes, why are you going to have the Dion Fouries and the Quajas on the field is to disrupt that quick ball and make it life very difficult for them at ruck time. I think Sia will do it as well, and Jasper just starting off as well. I think that's going to be specific roles. I really think it's going to be specific roles given to the individuals to go and do what is required for the team.
Exactly.
Yeah. And on that note, sorry, Gareth. And on that note, I mean, if Ireland are to win this game, I think Sexton has got to have one of the performances of his life. His kicking's got to be so precise and so pinpoint with the little time he has available to him. But I mean, if he does it, kudos to them. But I believe that's where they're going to win or lose it.
100%. Sorry, guys.
Gareth,
I was
definitely building up to say something there.
Yeah. So I was meant to just build on what Khat was saying there, with Khaleesi and Yas, but I think they'll be key at the breakdown. And they're great at counter-rucking. So I'd like to see some of that this weekend. And the breakdown is going to be a huge aspect of this game. As you said, they've probably got the quickest ruck speed in World Rugby. and we have to slow that down if we have any chance this weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, there's one last thing that I just want to touch on quickly there for Ireland, is they do have a lot of kicking options in their backline though. So don't be surprised to see the ball going from Gibson Park to Sexton to James Lowe or to Hugo Keenan, just to give them that extra second or two to get the kicks away. It's the only way I see them putting us under immense pressure and all of that is kicking us into our corners, getting the big forwards to turn. Their tactical kicking game is going to be key. I think it is still the one thing where you can beat us is if your tactical kicking is masterclass. We saw that at Mount Smart, where the All Blacks were just putting up the high balls and we weren't coping. I think that'll be their game plan, to be honest.
100%. I think they'll target. They'll definitely look at that Mount Smart game and see that potentially we aren't. I don't know if it's controversial to say this, but I feel like we've stepped away from our ability to compete in the air. Like we're a couple in 2019, 2020, 2021. Okay, we didn't play in 2020. I thought that was a big focus in our game, and we've kind of evolved our game. And even from when we played Ireland last year, we've evolved it, into this. We've added a lot more attacking dimension to it, and maybe we've put the kicking game to the side a bit in that. So I don't know. We'll see.
We will.
Yeah, I think with the addition of Marnie, it's the backline has changed slightly and the approach that we take. But again, his tactical kicking is also normally quite on song. His goal line kicking or his touchline kicking is phenomenal. So I'm just looking forward to an absolute banger this weekend. It has to be. It's number one versus number two. I mean, what more can you ask for in a group stage? You can ask for that to be the final probably, but yeah.
And it could.
100%.
I'm looking forward to watching it with probably 20 or 30 South African expats. So it's going to be very vibey. And just to wrap up there, Gareth, thanks very much for joining us on checking all the angles with Papes. It's been good to have you on here. Good to get some other thoughts, good energy, and we've definitely fed off that. So we look forward to you returning whenever that may be. But if you want to, I'll let Kat. Why don't we let Kat? Actually, let's let Kat round off with a sultry voice. But Gareth, if you want to say anything before we round off with Kat, go for it.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that, man. And guys, it's been great. It's great being on this episode. And I'd love to be on another episode in the future and join you guys, chat some rugby, and hopefully when we chat again, we'll be talking about a South African victory over Ireland, and we can look back on it. So it's gonna be it's been fun. I've had a good time chatting. Looking forward to it again.
Actually, what's your prediction? Sorry, that's the last thing we do normally.
Oh. True prediction. So man, this is it's a tough one to call. It's 50-50 in my book. I think I've gone with SA by 5 in my Super Brew. So that's just my heart saying SA by 5. But I know in my head this is going to be the biggest test by far this year, and it's going to be a really, really tough one. And I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to say SA by 6, and then we're going to let Kat take us out. Thanks very much, gents. Thanks, Gareth.
Thank you.
Gareth, thanks so much, my bro, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think it's definitely always nice to have another voice of reason between the two clowns that are myself and John. It is what it is. Look, prediction-wise, you guys are going quite lenient there. I'm backing the boys by 10. I feel that we've got a performance in us. I think we've been building towards this game since last year that we played them. I don't think we played any of our cards against them in Dublin last year. I think we played pretty shit. I think they played pretty average as well. But I think we have evolved so much, and they are still doing the same things. I think we know exactly what we're going to get from them. And I just feel that if we can play the way we played in Twickenham, I can see us putting a double-digit win on them, to be honest. So that's where my mind is going, and I feel the forwards will back it up. So yeah, I'm saying Boks by 10.
Okay.
Let's
Let's
hope
do it.
let's hope it can be the case. But yeah, as we always say, I think we've checked all of the angles, and if we've not, then we've definitely checked more than enough.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. It's been absolutely lovely, and yeah, it is going to be a humdinger this Saturday. Get your umbrellas ready, as they would say.
Cheers, boys. Thanks very
Looking
much.
forward to it, yes. That's it. You must have a good week further. Lekker Oaks.
Shot. Thanks, guys.
Sweet, guys. Enjoy.
All right, lekker. I think that's done.